Do you want to learn how to worry less? I have 8 worry stoppers I'm going to share with you today that will help you do just that. Now, these were adapted from Max Lucado's Lived Love devotional, which, by the way, is an excellent devotional. As we go along, you'll notice that the first letter of each word is actually an acronym for the word peaceful. Let's dive right in, friend. Now, the P in peaceful stands for pray first. And I know you're thinking it sounds cliche. Maybe it is. But the scripture tells us in Romans 12:12 to pray continually. When those what ifs, those worries, they cloud our mind, instead of focusing on those negative things, let's turn our thoughts and focus on prayers and praying to God and the promises that He has for us. Now, along those same lines, I want you to ask others to pray for you. I can't help but think of Esther in the Bible. If you've never read her story, it's in the actual book of Esther. She has her own book of the Bible. So check out her story. But she's about to go to the king and make a huge request of him. And before she does, she asked the Jews in her hometown to pray for her. She knew the power of prayer. And so I want you to know the power of prayer in your life first. Ask someone to pray over you, over your requests. Your requests are important. We make so many excuses. Yeah, that's not important. They don't have time. Don't make excuses for them. If they want to pray for you, they will. And I believe that when we have people, the right people around us, they will be so humbled and thankful that you even ask them to pray over you. So make that a priority in your life. The E in peaceful stands for evaluate your worry. My pastor a while ago, he recommended that when we start to worry about a situation, that we evaluate it and think about it and think, what if this happens, what will the end case scenario be? This has been such a huge eye-opener for me because many times I worry about things that never come to fruition, or that when I'm in a situation, the worry isn't really as bad as I think it's going to be. So ask yourself, if this happens, what will the end result be? Take a few minutes to process through that. Many times, it's not as bad as we think. So evaluate your worry. The A in peaceful stands for act on it. And I love what Max Lucado says. He says we need to become worry slappers. If a mosquito lands on your arm, are you going to just let it sit there? Absolutely not. You're going to smack that thing off and get rid of it as fast as you can. And we need to do the same with our worries. Turn your negative thoughts into positive thoughts by focusing on the word and the scripture and the promises that God has for you. You can also do this by filling your mind with music that's positive and uplifting to you. I actually have a blog post that is 20 different Christian songs about fear and helping you combat that in your life. I'll leave a link for that to that below in the show notes for you. Don't let worry get the best of you. I want you to stop it dead in its tracks. The C in peaceful stands for compile a worry list. Over the next little bit, I want you to write down every worry that you have, every little thing. And then in a couple weeks, I want you to look back over that list and see how many of those actually came to fruition. I think you'll be surprised at how many don't. The E in peaceful stands for expect God to show up big. The life that throws us so many curveballs. There's peaks and valleys, and we never know what's around the next bend. But I want you to know that no matter what you face, no matter what you walk through, that the Lord's going to give you the strength to handle it. It may not feel like it at the time, but He will. And He's going to be right there beside you, walking through it with you. Let that comfort you. A verse that has comforted me through some tough times is Isaiah 41:13. It says, "For I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you." In my early 20s, I went through divorce. And as I was walking through that, I didn't know what was going to happen with my life. But now, years later, I can just look back and see God's hand over the whole situation. It was a tough time, but He guided me through it and walked me through it, and He has blessed me more than I could ever hope or imagine. So no matter what you're walking through right now or what worries are clouding your mind, I want you to pray expecting God to show up big. I'd love to know, has this video been helpful to you? If so, would you take a second and hit the like button? I would so appreciate that. It just helps spread this to other people that may need the same encouragement. Now, the F in peaceful stands for focus on today. Stop worrying about next week or next month's problems and just focus on the needs for the day, knowing that God meets daily needs daily. He's going to give you exactly what you need when you need it. The U in peaceful stands for unleash a worry army. What does that mean? I want you to have people in your life that you can call or text whenever you start to get worried or scared, that you can talk to them about your worries. Ask them if they're healthy worries or if they're unhealthy, if they're legitimate, or if it's something you should not even be worrying about, and let them shoot you straight. I have people in my life. I have a couple ladies in my Bible study, and I have my sisters that I can always call or text, and they will shoot me straight. In fact, I did it this weekend. I was worried about something. I texted one of my sisters, and she walked me through it and talked me through it. I felt so much better. Why is this so important? Because Satan wants to keep us closed up and in the dark. When we bring things out to the light and expose them to the light, healing happens. And I want the same for you. So I know it's hard. Especially when you first start doing this. But take the time to text or call somebody. In fact, if you want to just call somebody today and say, hey, will you be there in case I need to talk to somebody about something I'm worried about in the future? That way you can set them up, and so they'll know that you may be calling them for that. I don't know what it's going to look like for you, but make it a priority to share with others and unleash the worry army in your life. Last but not least is the letter L in peaceful, and that stands for let God be enough. Have you ever had a friend try to hand you something, but your hands were so full and you're like, hold on, I got to put this down and then I can grab whatever you're trying to give me? The Lord tries to do the same thing for us. But so often, I'm speaking to myself here, so often our hands are full with the things of this world. I want you to let go of those things and have your hands open so that the Lord can do more than you can ask or imagine. It says that in Ephesians 3:20, that He can do more than we can ever ask or imagine. The Lord is faithful, and He wants to show up big in your life. So won't you let Him be enough? There you have it, friend, the 8 worry stoppers. Next time the what ifs fill your mind, I want you to focus on the word peaceful and all the things we talked about.